some kind of hero.
Hi, my name's Kevin, and this is a video about Chinese director Zhang Yimou. Zhang is one of the most iconic directors from China, and if you're interested in the Asian cinema, he is a must-know. He has directed over 20 films, ranging from Red Sorghum in 1987 to The Great Wall in 2016, as well as the events such as opening ceremonies of Beijing Olympics and the G20 Summit. In this video, I will go over some of Zhang's more impactful and defining films, and covering some of his favorite filming techniques. First thing we need to understand is Zhang belongs to a group called Chinese 5th generation filmmakers. These filmmakers are born shortly after the establishment of People's Republic of China in 1949. During their adolescent and young adulthood, they went through the Chinese Cultural Revolution, which is a tragic period of 10 years from 1966 to 76 that paralyzed the whole nation. At the end of this period, the 5th generation filmmakers become the first class of Chinese filmmakers that were educated professionally. They sympathized the suffering caused by the Cultural Revolution, questioned the nation's tradition, and were eager to discover and present the history and culture of China via cinema. Till this day, the 5th generation filmmakers was still the cornerstone of modern Chinese cinema, and Zhang Yimou is the forefront of this group. Zhang's directorial debut, Red Sorghum, is set in the countryside village of northeastern China during the Second Sino-Japanese War. The story revolves around a porter and the female owner of a liquor distillery. Their love ends dramatically with a fight against the invading Japanese army. The film won the Golden Bear at Berlin with rich visual coloring and the presentation of upright spirit from Chinese peasants. In the era of chaos, the Red Sorghum and its distilled hard liquor symbolize the nation's vitality and courage amid war and hunger. Afterwards, Zhang went on and directed about 10 more films, all related to Chinese culture and tradition. Raise the Red Lantern solidified Zhang's reputation not only as a master of visual art, but also as a female image maker. Actress Gong became an international icon identified with Zhang's work. Set in the 20s, the story revolves around the concubine who is confined inside her master's patriarchal house and the drama of female rivalry that darkens to violent hostility. The film was noted for its opulent visuals and sumptuous use of colors. It received Silver Lion at Venice and was nominated for Best Foreign Language Film at the Academy Award. However, it was banned back home in China. To Live focuses on the family melodrama during China's decades of socio-political upheaval during the revolution. Presenting civilians as the victims of various political campaigns, the film shows ordinary people struggling to survive amid the brutal effects of waves of social change. Similar to Raise the Red Lantern, To Live won several awards including Grand Prix at Cannes Film Festival, but was banned back in mainland China due to its critical portrayal of various policies and campaigns of the communist government. Aside from the ones we've mentioned so far, before the year 2000, Zhang has directed many other emotional, colorful, and authentic pictures such as Ju Dou, The Story of Qiu Ju, Not One Less, and The Earl Home. Through simple and authentic storytelling without lavish special effects, Zhang presented the rituals and Chinese history and shared the recurring theme of resilience that possessed by native Chinese people in the face of life difficulties. Then comes this. Hero. A martial art extravaganza starring Jet Li as a nameless protagonist trying to assassinate the emperor of a dynasty. It was the most expensive movie ever made at the time and was a milestone that marked the start of Zhang's big-budget film era. Hero was also nominated for Best Foreign Language Film at the Academy Award. It demonstrated Zhang's persistence in the provocative use of visual art form and his desire for commercial success. After Hero, Zhang directed House of Flying Daggers and The Curse of Golden Flowers, both epic martial art drama films that starred popular celebrities such as Andy Lau, Takashi Kaneshiro, Jie Chao, and Chow Yun-fat. Along with a more modest drama called Riding Alone for 1,000 Miles, Zhang's films topped the Chinese box office, and he pretty much became the #1 Chinese director. Next, Zhang stepped up one more notch by working with Christian Bale in Flowers of War, which is one of my personal favorite. This historical drama war film tells the story of escapees in the Second Sino-Japanese War, finding sanctuary in the church.
I am the priest, and I command you, in the name of the Father, to leave now!
Moving forward in the historical timeline for 30 years, Zhang made another historical drama called Coming Home. The story is adapted from a very emotional Chinese novel. It talks about a devastating change for a woman and her family before and after Cultural Revolution. It's a subtle drama that talks about love, loss, and perseverance that will nearly break your heart. Now, let's go back to Flowers of War, where the story setting is in the same time period as Zhang's first film, Red Sorghum, when China was at war with Japan. When you compare the two films, you can see huge difference between them, especially in image quality and special effects. However, some of Zhang's visual stylistic choices are still present even after 20 years. Zhang's nickname is the Master of Colors. He graduated from Beijing Film Academy with cinematography focus instead of directing, and his films are often lavish in color. Sometimes gaudy and showy, other times with major themes, but always intense and catchy. In his debut Red Sorghum, Zhang chooses to pump up the saturation and overwhelm the audience with the movie theme color, red. It's a color of liquor, lust, blood, and the sun. In the end, it has become the color of the world. This non-conventional and exaggerated approach of color usage was surreal and bold, but also pioneering and visually impactful. In that particular historical period where the country is under deep water, red is also the theme color of lives and sacrifices being made. Zhang uses the same technique again in Race of Red Lantern, where red is a major theme color when the concubine was beloved by her master. However, when she loses her favor, the whole color theme changes drastically and the red is replaced with black. While many other of his films can be praised by great color usage, the one where the usage is at its most obvious has to be in Hero. Along with cinematographer Christopher Doyer, they pushed this particular film to the limit in order to produce extraordinary hues. Hero tells and retells one story 3 times, how an anonymous assassin in ancient China overcomes 3 rivals. 2 of the versions are false, 1 is true, and they seem to come from different worlds. A red one, a blue one, and a white one. Add to this a frame tale dominated by shades of black, and a series of flashbacks infused with vibrant greens, and you have a film that functions like a prism. This is one story colored by different perceptions and has become the modern and colorful version of Rashomon. Aside from creative and intense color usage, choreography is also Zhang's trick up his sleeve. Across his various films, there are often dances or some sort of coordinated movements and shows performed by actors that you usually only see in traditional music films. On the surface, all these delicate mini performances that are embedded within might not serve any purpose to the advancement of the storyline, and sometimes they can even seem to be out of place. However, they are not only eye candies to the majority of audiences, but also show the artistic and cultural aspect of the world which our characters live in. And sometimes the performances can deliver a very powerful message. In Flowers War, when the geishas decided to sing a traditional chorus together, they did not just sing it, they performed it. This performance was staged right before they went on to the Japanese camp, replacing the educated girls. This is a clash between innocence and experience, as well as a depiction of protection and sacrifice. In fact, aside from movies, Zhang has a lot of experience directing musicals and theaters. He often loves to show different musical instruments on screen, and together with a carefully scripted choreography is probably how he can move from something like this to this, and finally to this.
We're about to see what happens when an artist gets nearly unlimited resources. It's almost a cinematic presentation.
When I said that Zhang Yimou is currently the #1 director of China, I certainly did not mean that he's the best director. In fact, he has received countless criticisms in the last decade for his drastic style change from presentation of authentic lifestyles of Chinese civilians to the overly exaggerated martial arts and big budget features that seem to only serve the purpose of attracting box office and global attention. The newest global collaboration feature, The Great Wall, also only looks like another big budget feature that involves a super strong Chinese cast with superstars from Hollywood. It's nothing new besides a typical monster movie. Nevertheless,
this is by far the biggest movie I've ever been a part of. I mean, it's just massive, the scale of it.
This could not happen if you're shooting in the back lot in Los Angeles. It wouldn't have the same flavor, it wouldn't have the same kind of detail.
Be it you like The Great Wall or not, it is yet another major milestone for global filmmaking.
Things that I've never seen before in a movie.
It is a challenge for Chinese actors and filmmakers to collaborate with those from Hollywood, but this also gave them an opportunity to witness and learn from the industry's frontier in aspects such as visual effects and CGI technology, which is a very necessary step to take in order for Chinese commercial films to evolve.
Zhang Yimou paints on this spectacularly large canvas, and he does it in a way that nobody else does. It's a great thing to be part of one of his visions.
Chinese traditional culture using Western framing techniques.
The fact that we're making it in China and it's Chinese production with Westerners is very exciting to me.
To Zhang Yimou, this willingness to take on projects of epic scale that's tailored to world audience and the continuous pursuit of presenting Chinese influence on global cinema is the reason that he survives through all controversies to become the most influential director from mainland China on the international stage.
It's so special to be a part of something that's breaking new territory.
Chinese sensibility and Western sensibility in making a movie.
And that was the goal, for us to all come together and this international group to come to China, get together and make a movie that everyone wanted to see.
In the past, most of Zhang's films involve individuals who struggle to overcome oppression and seek to challenge the status quo, be it against a man, a tradition, a war, an empire, or an entire period of history. These individuals ultimately fail to succeed as being the hero of their own stories. As a moviegoer, I certainly hope Zhang can preserve his core value even when collaborating with Hollywood in the future. Instead of westernized heroism with someone that saved the world in the end, I'll be content with characters that poignantly struggles and with a different level of sophistication. Thanks for watching. At the end, I leave you with one of my favorite scenes from Zhang Yimou's movie, of course, acted by no other than himself, as a low-class garbage man trying to showcase some romance.
哎呀，这有点不好意思。你这么的，拿着，赶紧拿。好，霍夫起来，霍夫起来。安红，我想你。黄海。安红，我想你。安红，我想你。安红，我想你。安红。找什么骂呀？滚蛋！ 他叫我喊，是他。谁呀？谁呀？谁不让喊？
你们有病是不是？在这瞎嚷嚷什么呀？
你有病！你再说句我听听。滚！看什么看？
嗨，
不管你就过来。
嘿，我不搭理你这种人，失身份。
喊，接着喊。